Okay, so everything is all my fault. I'm always wrong, right?
Such a brat.
The day we get married is the day I ship those brats off to Switzerland.
See me tonight. It's a bad idea, right?
Wait, you should do all covers, like all, what is that? Like scatting. Yes, like that Kim Cattrall video of her scatting. You should do that entirely covers of Olivia Rodrigo.
Chicka-pow,
Bleeding me
wow.
dry like a goddamn vampire.
Do you get deja vu when she's with you?
Yes. Oh my God. Now I'm upset that you haven't done it yet. That I can't listen to this right now.
I found a new career that doesn't pay either.
I know. Yeah, exactly. Like, this is perfect.
Well, hello, Brat.
Hello, Brat. We're back, baby.
We're back. I'm Isha.
And I am Keerthi. And welcome to the Huge Brats podcast, episode 2, everybody.
You made it. We made it. Yeah, so this is the Huge Brats podcast where we talk about pop culture, our lives, and all the bratty things in between.
Yeah, we realized in our first episode, Beta Brats, if you will, that we didn't do a lot of table setting, but here we are to tell you what we're about. And yeah, it's exactly what Isha said. We're going to talk about everything that's happening in pop culture and our lives through a brat lens. And just so everyone knows, and we did think of this name long before Brat became such a part of the culture, but we will get into that. But Brat, so clearly brattiness has been in the air, and that's what we wanted to bring to this podcast.
Absolutely beautifully said, Mamma Mia. But yeah, and we also acknowledge that we said brat maybe a million times, perhaps more than we breathed, but
we were excited.
Yeah. What are you gonna do about it?
Yeah, and it's a fun word to say.
It is.
Brat.
It is. Brat.
But we'll cool it.
Maybe, no promises. But just to give you a little context on how Keerthi and I even know each other. I mean,
oh my God, you said my name's so brown. Wow, that was exciting.
Yeah, because
Thank you for that.
I was just like, let's have range before I like fully like cheese it.
I so rarely hear it that way. So it's like a little treat, Yay. I'm like, oh, Yay. She knows.
But we met because I essentially somehow Yoko Ono'd a writers group. We're both TV writers, and I came for one session.
It wasn't even a session. It was the session to meet you. We were like, let's see if Isha's okay.
If she's a good fit for this group.
Literally, it was me being such a bitch about it because like our other mutual friend was like, I know this great writer, Isha, like you guys are all gonna love her. And then she like added you to an email chain, and I was like, this was not discussed with all of us. How, like, who is she? I was such a bitch about it. I don't know why. It was the pandemic and my emotions were everywhere. And then like our friend was like, oh my gosh, like you're so right, we have to all discuss, like I really guilted her into this. And so then we have like a meeting, like we're like in the Sopranos or something, to like vet you in Larchmont.
we were
on like
literally
a patio.
eating salami.
Yeah, like we were outside a sandwich shop, like not even like Larchmont Wine and Cheese, the good one, like the burger store down the street. Like, and we were just sitting there outside because it was the pandemic. And I was like, oh wait, I like her. My bad.
She'll do. And then that was the last time that this group that had been meeting for years, man.
Yeah, I think like 2-3 years at that point. And that was our final meeting of all of us, is when Isha joined.
Yeah. When the resistor accepted me.
Yeah, once I finally let my walls down, I could see that Isha really was the one for me all along.
Oh my god.
That's a life lesson to you guys, okay? It's who you least expect to join your writers group.
I had no idea.
Tooth and nail.
I had no idea that my joining was like your 300. Like I did not know.
Like I don't know what it was. It was just like I was just like, why?
Yeah.
Ooh,
I could have
change.
Fair enough, though. You didn't know. You didn't know. You wanted to scope.
But then I knew. I knew.
Yeah, because it's like you're in writers groups. Like you have to give constructive criticism and receive it from people you want to like them.
Right? What if I didn't respect you? And then I'm supposed to take notes from you? A woman I don't respect?
Exactly.
But I very quickly respected you because your energy is so yourself, like at all times.
Thank you.
Very, very Brat. Just very like, yeah, you're just yourself all the time. And I was like, oh wow. Like she just met a lot of us and she's just really like telling us how she feels. And I was like, yeah, that rules.
I had my joie de
admire her
raging. I had that
joie de dog. I know. And I was like, she got that joie de dog. I gotta get in there. I gotta learn from her to cultivate my own dog. You know, I'm pointing to my stomach. That's where you cultivate your dog.
There you do. I mean, you also have a dog who does have that dog in him. I mean, Archie
he's opinionated. I think that's why I'm drawn to him.
Yes.
He knows what he wants and is not afraid to ask for it, baby. Much to my enjoyment and chagrin. You know?
Yes. He makes me want to sit up straight because we love our broad-shouldered king. I don't know. Archie is the strongest back in Los Angeles.
He is a linebacker. Like he is, you know how like on TikTok, there's like this trend now that's like, oh, I took my dog to the animal communicator and this is what they told me. Mine would be like, bitch, these are all the things I hate about you. This is everything you're doing wrong. Like he's just really like, the other day I tried to take him for a walk around the park and I'm just gently leading him in a direction that he doesn't want to go in. And he yelps as if I've like stepped on his paw. He goes, and I'm like, you pathetic little bastard. You are trying to embarrass me. You are trying to embarrass me in front of these people so they think I'm hurting you. He's manipulative. And again, there was a camera somewhere. It. Yes. He was like, they're going to call whatever dog CPS is on you, okay? Bitch, like I will run to the nearest man here because he loves men. That's another thing the animal communicator would say. Why aren't you a man? And I'm like, I ask myself the same thing every day. Okay, so relax.
Archie's like, I would pay you more if you were a man.
But now he's like, I'm just following years of the patriarchy, babe. Like, take it up with somebody else.
He's like, I know what a Saturn return is now. I can't do this.
I can't do it. Like this dumb bitch has talked my ear off about her rising sign for 3 years now. Enough.
Hilarious. I mean, that's what we bonded over.
I know. So once Isha just dropped a bomb on our writers group and left and just us in the debris of her presence. I was like, oh, I actually like Isha, so maybe we should get dinner. And I had advice to ask you. I was like, what should I do, girlfriend? And so we got dinner at the Black Cat, this bar. And we chatted, and then we were just having such a good time chatting. So fun. And so we walked around a bit. I remember that. And then we got to my car and we just sat in my car and I told you about what a Saturn return is. for like an hour.
Yes.
You had not experienced, I think you're in the midst of yours right now.
I'm in it now. I was about to enter
you were about to enter it.
And I felt the air go cold and I was like, the AC's not on, this car's off. And then
I said
so
no.
much better. No,
it's
you
Saturn.
made me feel so much better about it.
I'm so glad. I mean, it's such a hard but impactful part of your life. You learn so many lessons, which is nothing to be afraid of, you know?
Yes. And you made me realize it doesn't necessarily have to be something to be feared, or it doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing either. It's just a transformative period. And I think if you look at a lot of people's lives, that like late 20s into early 30s period is when you have a clearer definition of yourself, but you also tend to have these moments that solidify this next point in your journey, which I think is true for myself, and it seems like it was absolutely true for you. But you really made me feel better going through that.
I'm glad. That's why you have your buddies.
Yeah.
To usher you into your Saturn return.
Yeah, and we're here now.
And we're here.
But anyway, speaking of here, we must discuss a certain little album that has finally released.
So I don't even know where to begin. She obviously, like, when she announced this album, you and I gooped, gagged, jaws to the floor. I mean,
TMJ solved. Just jaw unlocked out of joy.
Like, I've been a Charli fan for many, many years now. I discovered her in high school. Yes, it's been a minute. And of course, as we mentioned previously, half Indian, so representation matters. And so I was like, wow, our queen really, like, it obviously felt very personal given the name of our podcast and everything we had been discussing in the weeks prior. And I was like, wow, this is like a sign of something. Like, I love this woman. She is also feeling this feral brat energy. And I was ecstatic, could not wait to dive in. And boy, did she deliver.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably her most mature, vulnerable, maybe experimental album. I mean, at least all of it together. This was an adult woman album, in my opinion.
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
like a very fun adult, but she is grown, and I had so much fun with it, from 360 to 365, and like the stuff about family, her parents. I mean, Apple, that was just like Apple. I think about it all the time. I was like, whoa, this is so real.
That to me is the genius of this album. Like, you don't really associate like hyper dance pop and club tracks with the kind of vulnerability that she is expressing here. And I mean, I literally cannot listen to I Think About It All the Time that much, because it is that like gut punch for me. And Apple, I mean, wow, like, who can't relate to that? And it's exactly what you said. I'm like, she is not too much older than us. Like, I think she's only a year older than me. So like, everything she's talking about is so relevant. And also what's super relevant is like club classics. Like, I still want to go out and get shit-faced and hear those club classics. Okay. Like, it's such a, like, talking about your Saturn return, like, such a like tricky, like sticky point in your life. And there are so many ways people go about that, right? Like, and I think about it all the time. She talks about her friend who she's like, yeah, she's still my same friend. She dresses the same, but also she's not my same friend. She's a mom now. And like, that's different. And I feel like she knows something I don't. Do I want to know that thing? I don't know if I have to know that thing. I mean, just cut me open, split me in half, baby.
Yeah. That whole, we're totally at that stage where people that we have gone through these journeys with, these growth journeys with, are now like splintering off into their own paths. It's very interesting. Like you can be the same age and completely at a different place in life, and that is okay, but it is like the mourning of what your friendship was at that point.
Totally. And like, yeah, exactly. I think mourning what you had, and you're still not quite at the new era of your friendship yet, right? Either. So it's like this in between period where you're figuring out what that next stage looks like. And for me, that's always been very like destabilizing, because I'm like, I don't know like where my feet are right now.
Yeah.
And I think she like articulates that really well. And like, and it's so, even in her songs where she's like, I like, you know, blazoned, empowered, whatever, it's still like Rewind, where she talks about, she's like, I eat at really nice restaurants, but I still think about my weight all the time. And sympathy is a knife. Like she's talking about how when someone is literally being sympathetic to her, she's like, I can't even absorb it. Like it actually hurts me. And it's all set to this beat I want to like throw my ass to. Like how like that is so crazy good. Like
that's
who
what it's
amongst us can
like.
do that? And that's what it's like.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Even just like what was it? Girl, so confusing. I was like, yeah, so confusing.
So, and who doesn't have that friend where you're like, wait, what? Like, I'm
Yeah.
not really sure what we're doing here, but okay. Like, hit me up once every 3 months to talk to me about how we should hang out more.
But we haven't.
But we haven't.
Yeah.
But we haven't.
Totally.
I love this album so much. I think the sign of a good album is when every time you listen to it, you hear something new that you didn't get. Like it's so layered and it's so dense, and like the production of it is so, even though it's very
good.
Charli, yeah, it still feels fresh.
Yeah.
Like everything, and Charli will obviously say this about herself all the time, but it's like she's always been ahead of the curve.
Yes.
She's old. That's why nothing's really popped off, is because she's always like 5 years ahead of the culture.
Yep.
And this album, I think, is still like that progressive thing, but I think we've just been fed so much like normal pop shit via one artist specifically, who just keeps churning out the same production over and over and over again and expects us to just deal with it. That I think anything that is like, actually fuck that, and and as Charli recently said at one of her concerts, artistry always wins out.
Yes.
And I agree, baby. Like I have to believe that for my own personal self as well. Like
artistry
in the work
builds
we do.
legacy.
Yes, what a perfect way to put it.
That's what it is. And she is building a legacy. Absolutely. And I think just the sheer scale of her fandom now, I'm really happy to see that, because she is someone who genuinely loves music. I mean, she's composed for film, if I'm not wrong. She's directed music videos. It's really just unbelievable. But I also love how much fun she has with it. I mean, everything is romantic. How cinematic it was, but then just certain lyrics. It was just, she's able to take the salt with the sweet and make something just uniquely her own, and I love it.
It feels like life, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Like it's even and a song like Everything Is Romantic, like, and I say it feels like life in the sense that it is like everything is salty and sweet all the time, always, right? And that is what this album hops between within the same song, that often has this like, you know, sugary outside, but once you get into it, you're like, whoa, okay, we're like falling down a rabbit hole in a fun way, in like the Alice in Wonderland way. And yeah, like what I love about Everything Is Romantic is I feel like I am on a speedboat in Italy when I'm listening to it. Like that like frenetic, because usually like Everything Is Romantic, you're thinking like La Vie en Rose, like sort of like slow, whatever. And she's like, fuck that. It's actually like very like, let me paint a scene for you. Like this is what romantic escapade in Italy is like, and what it feels like is that energy of the song. And
oh yeah, she described an Aperol Spritz sonically.
Yes, exactly.
Unbelievable. Yeah,
unbelievable.
And you're right, so vulnerable. The song referencing Sophie and all of that, it was really great.
It's so great to hear her talk in interviews about it, like Girl So Confusing, and talking about feminism in this way I know you and I subscribe to, but like is not the prevailing narrative amongst especially pop artists. It's like this, women supporting women, like et cetera, et cetera. And she's like, actually, like, your feminism should include like hating a woman if she sucks. Like why not? Of course, right?
See her as a person. See her as a person.
Exactly. Women as three-dimensional people can also suck ass so hard, obviously.
I'm just glad that we all have this source of joy from this album. And I was listening to it while I was in Sri Lanka. I was Mrs. Worldwide for a bit, and I just kept repeating in the 360 remix. Robin has this lyric that I just think is so funny, where she's like talking about how she started so young, she didn't have email, and the best part was when she's like, now my lyrics on your boobie, and I just kept saying it out of context.
So funny.
And people there were like, what, man?
You're what?
Whose lyrics are on your boobie?
Oh my god, I didn't even catch that. I did catch the email thing. I should put a Robin lyric on my boobies.
Yeah, it's time. I keep
pay tribute,
dancing on my own.
But we thank you, Charli, for from Brats everywhere, for Brat culture, for bringing Brat back. Along with us, of course.
Yes.
But you know, she's doing a lot of the legwork, and thank you, babe.
And we're here.
And now we are here in Brat Summer.
We are here in Brat Summer. Speaking of Brat Summer, I hear Archie had a special snack. Special barbecue.
So speaking, so he is my Brat of the week, because he ate a sock. And you know, to most people, I feel like that's like ha 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 ha. Which I guess
Who thinks it's funny? Who thinks it's funny that your dog ate a sock? I think
it's whimsical. Okay, I was talking on the phone to an undisclosed friend, and I did receive some laughter in response to me revealing this news. And I was like, it could get stuck in his intestines and he could die.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
read a book.
Yeah. And also it was a thick quality sock. Okay.
Of course, Bombas, he only takes the best.
Shout out. Yeah, exactly. He can't choose a shitty sock. He has to choose my thickest, at least it was 100% cotton, but like padded sock that I own that is also expensive. He was like, yeah, these. So he eats the sock, right? And he's being, you know, upset about it because he's eaten a sock and it's working its way through his stomach. I imagine that must be painful or whatever. And so I'm taking him to all these urgent cares, and I'm getting progressively more annoyed because they're quoting me thousands of dollars. And they're like, and he may not even throw it up. So like, I don't know, who can say, we may just have to get surgery, which would be more than the $3,000 they quoted me. And I was like, it's $3,000 just to get him to throw up? What are we doing here? So I decide to roll the dice, Isha. I think, you know what, let's see how this goes. Let's see how my bratty little son ventures, because you know, he's been in my life for 3 years now. I'm like, I think this little motherfucker is fucking with me. Like I think he's gonna throw it up. I just feel this in my bones. And then I mean, it took 2 days, 48 hours, but then one morning out comes a perfectly intact, not a rip in sight, Bombas sock.
Not the branding still being visible.
Oh, perfect. I should have saved the other socks so I could wash them and rewear them, as I would, because they're very expensive socks.
I was just gonna ask
I'd already
you,
thrown it away.
what would it have taken for you to keep this sock?
I don't even wash it. I just like hang it up as something for him to look at and be like, this is what you've done to me.
Just memory. But what
A
if it's just
memory.
something he aspires to get now?
Well, exactly. And he probably would, because he's such a brat. He just like, I swear he does this to me on purpose. I don't know. He's exacting revenge for something that I've done to
That
him.
you have no idea about. Just like being too kind to him.
Yeah, just loving him as hard as I possibly can.
That's so
I give him so many pup cups. This is so rude.
This is why he's like, I need a man to be neutral about me.
Yeah. It's like, I need a man to ignore me. And I'm like, I can ignore you. Don't worry about it. I can do it. I swear.
I'll practice.
But yeah, that was adventures in Bratdom with me and Archie this week. But as a treat to myself, I got myself a Taco Bell Crunch Wrap, but the kind that has the Cheez-It in it instead of the tostada.
I've been watching videos of this because I don't think continue.
Isha was revelatory. And I mention it because it is so bratty to bite into something and be greeted by bright orange. Like anything Cheetos, any a food that is bright orange is bratty.
Yes.
And when you combine that with Taco Bell, like game
Done.
over. And it was so good and it was so perfect. I highly recommend it for the evening after your dog throws up a sock that has been haunting you.
Sounds
it was
correct.
Just the wave of relief that washed over me as I bit into my Cheez-It Crunch Wrap.
As he watched, waiting for you to give him some.
Yeah. Actually, as soon as the sock was gone, he was like, and now I'm back.
It was like, the fast is over.
Yeah, like, okay, like, what next, Keerthi?
Oh my
But yeah, that was those two, because one led to the other, right? Those two combined really are just the brattiest things that happened to me this week.
Yeah, like just the best thing and the worst thing, of course.
Exactly.
Followed each other.
As it so often goes.
I think, what was the brattiest thing to happen to me? I mean, like I had mentioned earlier, I was just in Sri Lanka, which was such a beautiful place. But I was in this beach town, and I don't know if you saw this going viral a couple of months ago. There was this Russian-owned bar that tried to have a whites-only party. Had you seen this? I
did not see this.
It was the wildest thing in the world. And then I think like enough people were like, what the hell is this? That they were like, oh, this was a bad idea. Sorry. And their apology was something like, we just really love our expat community. So we wanted some people to come out. It literally said like, dress code white, face white, or something like that. I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but it was something just bonkers.
They start with like shirt white, shoes white, face, arms, leg.
We might take olive, but be careful there.
We're gonna also need those to be white.
Damn.
No, I didn't see this. That's crazy.
Yeah, so it was wild, and we were just sitting on the beach, and my friend was like, yeah, I tried to go to that bar and they wouldn't even serve me. They wouldn't even look at me, and I had to like force them to give me a drink. So then I was obviously activated and I was ready to just go in there and demand a drink and like really heighten that American accent. I was fully prepared. And
hello, sir.
I literally looked up the like ruble to Sri Lankan rupee like conversion rate. I don't know where I was going with that, but I was like, I need to have everything ready.
Yeah, I need all my tools in my toolkit.
Yes. And the thing is, it was about 12:30 a.m. on a Wednesday night. So we go up, and I'm like, can I have a beer? And it's like, I see all of these people sitting in there, but they're like, I process that they're clearly like employees. They're literally like counting. They're like doing the accounting for the end of the night, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, we're closing up."
God.
And I was not gonna push it because at that point, that is a very legitimate reason to not serve someone. Yes, we are closed. We are literally trying to close the books.
I can't say anything else about that.
Yeah, because I become the unhinged person, and then they win. Right. Yeah, and then they're like, "This is why we had our whites only party."
Yeah, they're like, "You're actually just proving our point." So that is why we aren't serving you.
No. So I feel like that was my brattiest attempt of the week, more or less.
You tried.
Yeah. Maybe my brattiest fail. That was my brattiest fail. Because if I was truly unhinged, I would have just gone in there and
But no, I mean, you are right. You probably just would have been adding fuel to their racism.
Yes.
And that's not good. But also, we often can try to brat and fail. It happens to me all the time because I don't have my brat wits about me. At every moment, at every time, I want to. And what people don't realize, and here I am saying brat 1,000 times again, but it's aspirational. It's hard to be at all times.
Mm-hmm. But also, there's a time and a place. I think
so true.
Because there is like a fine line between like being brash and doing whatever, and truly just being pejoratively unhinged. You know, it's like I was just not about to be that person. If I showed up at like a cool 2 p.m. at a beach bar, it might have been different.
Right.
The thing is, though, it was off season. So either way, it was going to be way less impactful because there was never going to be more than like one person sitting at that bar in the first place. So I'll be back.
Exactly. You'll be back. Exactly. You'll be back, and we'll hear about it.
Let's just take a quick break and let's get back into it.
Sounds good.
You're no picnic. All right, you're a spoiled little brat even. But under that, you're the most amazingly astounding, wonderful girl ever known.
I went to this national park and I saw so many elephants, and they were so beautiful. So many Asian elephants roaming free. They were amazing. But there was this one elephant, and he was like cleaning himself off in like this muddy water to keep himself cool. Great. And we were like, wow. We soon realized he was a bit of an exhibitionist. Okay. I was taking a video. I'm taking a video, and he starts shitting, and of course it's massivo. It's huge because
I mean he's an elephant.
He's doing his job.
These aren't dainty.
He's literally supposed to eat 250 kilograms of food every day, so like it's fine, let it out. That said, he noticed that a lot of people were watching him, and we soon noticed, and I noticed too late because I was still filming, that he started to get real erect. And what I assumed was pee was not. So he this king washed himself in the water that he was shitting in and then came into. Reduce, reuse, recycle.
I wonder, like, I think this is probably his move, right? Yeah. Like, as soon as the people come up, he's like, oh, you guys want a show? Like, I will give you a show. You thought I was just going to stand here and be majestic? Actually, what he was showing you was the multitudes of being an elephant.
100%.
He was like, oh, you guys like putting us like as little ceramics on your mantles? Yeah. Isn't that what you want? Wouldn't you love that? For us to be so like calm, cool, and collected all the time? Well, guess what? I have a range of emotions. And, you know, I get sexually excited too. Okay. And I have a body, and I'm an elephant with needs.
Yeah. This was his OnlyFans in a way. And I was
elephant OnlyFans.
So happy for him, I guess. But it was just so unexpected.
He's an influencer. Oh, no, I mean, To expect it would have been quite odd.
But a bit perverse, if you will. Yeah. But like,
Wow.
I'll never be the same.
No.
I also saw that same elephant. I think he was just having a day. He was shooting his shot with a older female elephant. And
Okay.
I loved that because
likes
he was
older women.
yeah, he was a young guy. And she was a mature woman. And a baby shows up. A baby fully shows up around the corner and he simply retreats. He's like, I am not doing this. You have killed the vibe, Junior. Like,
wow, really, it do be all men.
yeah,
Damn.
they're all the
same. You have a kid, like, yikes, like, ruh-roh. I did not sign up for parenting. I wash myself in my own shit and cum, just so you know. Like, that's like I can't be expected to deal with another human.
That's
wow.
so
It's a little comforting to know it like spans species, you know?
Oh yeah, it absolutely does.
This is just the nature.
If he were a person, if he were a human, he would have never vacuumed. I know that to be true.
He's like that boy that doesn't have a bed frame and just has like Gatorade bottles everywhere.
Oh yeah. Anyway, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
And perhaps this is a great way to bring us into our rapid fire.
Yes, this is
Brat or no Brat.
Brat rapid fire.
Yes.
Rapid fire.
Rapid fire. Brat Pit? No, too far. Too far.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Attempts were made. Keerthi, are accents bratty? Everyone has one.
Well, that's the thing, is that everyone has one.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like, isn't that the opposite? Like, being a brat, despite lots of people can be brats, you're unique in your brattiness. And if it's something that everyone has, I don't know if it can be, but are there like specific accents that are brattier than others? Perhaps.
Oh, definitely. I feel like every single one of my elementary school teachers had the best accent in the world.
Something about like a Pittsburgh accent is bratty to me because it's like normal, but there's just a slight twinge to it. And they also are like really protective of it. They're like, no, I have a Pittsburgh accent. And you're like, actually, you don't, because nobody knows what that is and no one can detect it.
I could not distinguish.
Like,
I couldn't tell you.
Comic Sans? Right now, I'm talking in a Pittsburgh accent. Like it's not, it's indiscernible. Really? But their protectiveness of it is bratty, and I respect that.
I do respect that.
Go off.
I do. So I grew up in northern New Jersey, and I went to high school in Pennsylvania, kind of around where they filmed Mayor of Easttown, and I called State Farm today and I was immediately brought back because I was calling a Philly State Farm and it was immediately like, I'm not gonna do it justice, but it was like, okay. It was like I'm butchering it. I'm so sorry, Philly people. See, you know what? You can troll me for that. Philly, it was so bad.
Philly accent, I think, is bratty too.
It absolutely complimentary. Is.
Like I love it.
It absolutely is. But
I don't think a New York accent is bratty because unfortunately, I just think it's overplayed now. Fair. So it's like, hey, I'm walking here, pretzel, like whatever, you know, and that it would have been if we just didn't hear it all the goddamn time and have it made fun of all the time.
I think that the best version of that was done in Pen 15. With that little boy in the play when he's like, what are you gonna do, Zebra? You gonna divorce me? I mean, the grip that still has on me. Unbelievable.
So good. Yeah, when little kids do it, incredible.
Amazing.
Always.
Amazing.
Because little kids get to the essence of an accent in a way adults just never do. And that rules.
It does rule. It does rule. Hey,
okay, so our next Brat rapid fire. Are we ready for it?
Yes,
rapid
yes.
fire.
And I guess we got to be rapid about it. Shit. Anyway.
So okay. Are raccoons bratty?
Yes, 100%. Are you kidding?
Elaborate.
Digging around in trash, just committing scams and flams left and right. Are you kidding me? I mean,
Like,
they are assholes, but they are also kind of rats. They're funny. They're weird little poses. I like them.
and also their color scheme,
Yeah.
like they're sort of like bandana-esque eyes. Not bandana.
Yes.
What am I talking about?
Bandit?
I don't know what I'm talking. Bandit, maybe? Like
The mask.
they have, yeah, it's like they're wearing sunglasses almost, but they can see.
Yes.
And that's gnarly. Yeah,
It
the
is.
mask, that's what I mean. Their little mask.
Yeah,
I'm
Zorro.
like, yeah,
Yes.
Zorro.
Yes.
Under the cover of night. But then they'll just also do it during the day.
Oh
And
yeah.
you're like, whoa, bold.
They
Yeah.
are quite literally feral.
Yeah.
Like they are. They're doing
Right.
it well.
Like by definition.
I
Yeah.
just saw Mad Max too. I saw Furiosa, and that was a raccoon adjacent eyeliner situation.
You're so right. She was channeling raccoon. That was
Yes.
the inspiration.
Yeah. That's
So
why
I
she's
know
stealthy.
nothing about Mad Max Furiosa.
Oh.
What is she?
Okay.
Is she raccoon based?
She is
What?
not raccoon based, but you know what I will say? She's crawling a lot. She is covered in oil a lot.
Oh.
Yes.
Oil.
Yes. You need to watch Mad Max. Just
Do I?
watch the one with Charlize. Yes, you will like it. You'll actually like it.
See, Charlize, to me, again, I actually know nothing about the plot, but she matches what I imagine Mad Max to be about, which is like cars and sand.
Yeah.
And she does well with cars and sand. She fits that backdrop.
She does.
But Anya Taylor-Joy, the girl from the chess TV show, when I look at her, I'm like, what? That's why they had to give her raccoon eyes, because they were like, yeah, we know she doesn't really make a lot of sense here. Like, she should be she is in a Jane Austen movie. She's an Emma.
I did like her as Emma.
And I did like her as Emma. And that's, I think, the lane she should stay in. Chess and Jane Austen. Is she British? I mean, her name feels British.
I think she is. I think her parents are from Argentina, but she's British. I'm not sure. I will say the whole time it was like she seems like this very petite woman, and for much of the movie she is pretending to be mute and pretending to be a boy, and I'm like, she literally has boobs right there. And
interesting.
This world that seems very binary. How are you doing this?
But also, like, come on, are her boobs that big that we can't, as a big booby lady, like, if you're working with a B cup, I'm like, we can massage that. Yeah. that is not boobs to me. Sorry to our B cup community, but you don't realize how easy you have it.
That's true. That's true. I mean,
but she just has a very like classical bone structure,
Yes.
So that's why like I can't. I'm having trouble connecting the dots. But again, I know nothing about Mad Max, so maybe it's.
I mean, the original, like, I mean, not original because there are so many, but the one that Charlize was in, I loved. That one was fantastic. I think you would really like it.
I've heard good things.
Yeah. Our capybaras, Bratty.
I don't have a response for this one.
That's fine. But,
I don't know enough about them.
They basically just like essentially live in hot springs all day in Japan because one guy noticed that they liked hanging out in warm water when he bathed them. So I would say yes, they have scammed their way into living in a sauna 24/7 by choice. Okay,
so that's amazing. I had a friend gave me a guest pass to Equinox last week, and so that means I had access to a hot tub. And I'm here in the middle of the day on a weekday, which of course when I wanted to go because I wanted to see what the middle of the day weekday crowd is.
So packed. Yes.
Yes, because I live in Los Angeles, California. Okay. So and here's the thing, you would think it's like the hottest, most attractive people you've ever seen. It's really not, okay? Get rid of that stereotype of Los Angeles. Yes, we're filled with hot people.
But so is every
Okay?
other place.
Yeah, everywhere has hot people. All right? That's fact. And this equinox was filled with all types. It was very refreshing to see. So that stereotype of equinox is also wrong. But I was there pretty much solely for the hot tub. I'm obsessed with them. I love hot tubs. The second I am rich girl Keerthi, I buy myself a hot tub.
Yes.
I just love chillaxing to powerful jets in warm, scalding hot water. What could be better?
Not to be a white man obsessed with anime. I'm sorry, but we know that's a thing. But you need to go to Japan because of their onsen, like their hot springs. I stayed in a hotel where my mom, I sound so obnoxious. I have been Mrs. Worldwide. I will admit it. I'm very happy to be inching towards
No, go
while
off.
retaining my hair. Thank goodness. But we were in this town where there are a lot of hot springs, and my mom really wanted to go to an onsen, but she didn't know that you have to be naked around other people to do it. And so it's like split. It's split by, like, you can get a private one, I guess, but not really.
Right.
But women wouldn't have to be like with men in these onsens. So she was like, no, I can't do it. I'm not ready for it. But the bathtubs in the hotel were directly connected to the hot springs. So you could do a hot spring bath in the comfort
of your own. Wow.
It was literally the highlight of the trip for me.
Of course, that would be the highlight. Oh my God. I also love a hotel. I think hotels are very bratty. Like, everything about a hotel is bratty.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The Shining.
Getting murdered there. That is like the brattiest thing you can do at a hotel, is get murdered there.
Whirlpools of blood hurtling towards you as you neglect your son. Oh, crazy.
Twins in a hallway. Tricycles. Classic hotel shit. That movie is so bratty. I don't like scary movies, and I love The Shining.
Yeah.
I guess it's hard not to, right? Doesn't everyone like The Shining?
I think so. There's just Jack Nicholson's eyebrows, best supporting actor. Like,
I need to like bring that into my threading person the next time and be like, actually, let's reverse this shit. Let's get everything up and at him. All right.
Yeah.
I'm channeling someone here.
And his name is
Jack Nicholson. She's gonna be like, this is just the culture now. Sorry.
She's like, you have to remain laminated. I'm very sorry. Are you?
I'm so sorry. No, this is actually courtesy Kulfi eyebrow pencil gel. Not pencil, gel.
Okay.
Yeah. Shout out Kulfi.
Not an ad, but it could be. Kulfi.
It could be South Asian owned, female owned, I believe.
And we are also South Asian.
And I'm a woman supporting women, okay?
Yes.
Just like Charli taught me.
You know.
You know.
Okay. How about Katy Perry?
Okay, so Katy Perry is coming out with a new album soonish, or she's announced it or something. And I think Katy Perry is very bratty, complimentary.
Mm-hmm.
Like, her little pinup outfits, so bratty.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, I saw Katy Perry at the Warp Tour. Okay, way back in the day. It always comes back to Warp Tour with this bitch. Okay. Mm-hmm. And this was like her pop punky kind of, like when she was very, very first starting out. And it was so good. She legitimately can sing. And there's just this like little wink to everything she does that I think is so good. Her Super Bowl performance is iconic. those fucking sharks. This is like such a millennial reference, but it was just so camp and dumb. Like,
left shark.
And I do think camp and dumb is bratty. And that may be controversial.
No, I think you're right. Camp and dumb, close to crumb.
Right.
Don't know what that means.
What do you think, Isha? Is Katy Perry bratty?
Yeah, I mean, look, bangs, big boobs, lollipops and rockets on boobs, a flare skirt, a flare silhouette, a broad soprano voice, Orlando Bloom.
And naming their daughter Daisy Bloom. Get out of here.
Love it. That's so cute.
That's
also,
so cute.
Getting into legal battles with nuns. Bratty.
Wait, what was that?
I believe that Katy Perry was either sued by or suing nuns. We can totally probably just fact check this.
Whoa.
She was in a lawsuit over land with a few nuns. Yeah.
Over land?
Yep, over land. Over some property. And you know what? That kind of
I'm
makes
proud
me
to
think...
be an American.
Yeah,
where at least I know I'm free.
Yeah.
Wow. Love it.
Where the land in question could have been a church. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure.
Yeah, suing nuns though, that's very bratty. Hats off.
Yeah, hats off to you, Katy Perry.
So Isha, I think it's time we get to Brat of the Week.
Yes. Not counting Archie, who is
counting Archie, because he is a constant exactly in my life, consistently big brat.
He is employee of the month, everyone. Yes.
So Isha, who is your Brat of the Week?
Oh boy. I think, again, Mrs. Worldwide, sorry. Japanese toilets.
Never apologize for being Mrs. Worldwide.
No, because I don't want to be that person who's like, well, actually in Japan, but like,
you've earned it. You went to Japan, okay? You can say that with some authority now.
But
I
you know
what's going on in Japan. And
I went to Japan and I had the opportunity to buy a beret that looked like a tomato, and I didn't. So I really don't think I have the right to talk right now. That was a foul.
True.
That was a foul.
There were a lot of like shopping mistakes were made.
Mistakes were made. Like there was too much holding back, and I do regret that.
Next time.
My scalp is not itchy, and we don't know with these berets sometimes. But
yeah, that's true.
But yeah, my Brat of the Week, Japanese toilets. They're heated. They're smarter than like many people.
My MacBook, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. They're smarter than me. Like there's no reason that I should expect this much comfort in a random park toilet. But
park toilet.
It was
here.
heated.
I was imagining this at a hotel.
No, but in the hotel, in the lobby, if you go to the bathroom, they put like sound effects on that sound like you're in nature if you're pooping, so that other people don't hear you and you don't hear them.
Wow.
Yeah. Wild.
Japan is, you know, people are like, oh, like East Asian countries are in like 2050 or whatever.
Yeah. Japan's like, in the future. They are.
And no, the thing is, no, we just live in America. Like they are actually in 2024.
Yeah.
We just live in fucking, like, why can't I have the rainforest around me while I'm shitting?
It's so true. We don't even have the rainforest cafe anymore. Like,
yeah, we're getting rid of Red Lobster.
No,
and I can't. Yes, it's bankrupt.
No,
because, and this is hilarious, because of their endless shrimp deal. People literally, it was too good of a deal. So now they're getting bankrupt because they gave America endless shrimp. And this is how we reward Red Lobster, by causing them to go bankrupt. Sorry about your biscuits.
I love that the American people find a deal and make sure that they get it.
They're like, as God as my witness, I will sit down for 3 hours for all you can eat $20 shrimp. And like, again, I think that's bratty, respect, but also not at the expense of the corporation.
No.
Okay.
the one time we're defending the corporation.
Like, I will throw down for certain institutions, all right?
Oh,
One
yeah.
of them being Red Lobster. I want endless shrimp. I love shrimp.
That's
But
wild.
I guess so does America.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, it's wild. So in America, we can't even have nice things like Red Lobster. So we will never get these singing toilets.
No, because then it'll turn into another all-you-can-eat situation.
Yeah, that toilet, that one toilet, because yes, we will only get one of these.
We'll only have one.
Bombarded, just and excrement everywhere, okay? Because we can't be trusted with anything.
Yeah.
We will ruin everything as soon as we get it.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll have to go to Japan if I ever want to experience this.
Yeah, you must. It's time. But yes, that was my brat of the week.
My brat of the week is a woman. Speaking of women, okay. So my brat of the week. So I went to the United States Postal Service to mail something, and the USPS. It's not like a hopping joint, right? Like very casual, very very mellow. I also go. What?
So it depends.
Oh, this is true. Depends. I went on a Saturday morning in Pasadena.
Okay,
so
peace.
it was it was very chill, very calm. And I walk in and this woman is helping me send my little gift off into the world. And I see her name tag and it's Trish. Like Trish, Trish. And this really takes me aback because her name is Trish. And when you think of Trish, like who is the woman who comes to your mind, Isha? Like describe her.
Trish is interesting because is she Patricia? Is she Trisha? I don't know, but I know at some point in her life, if she goes by Trish, she's probably had a Kate Gosselin adjacent haircut.
Yes. And like, so you would think older. Like when I think Kate Gosselin haircut, I'm like, you're in your mid 40s.
Interesting.
No, this was
I think of a youth.
You think of a youth?
I think of a youth with the Kate Gosselin haircut.
The woman in front of me was like Gen Z, like a zillennial at oldest, like looked hip as fuck, working at the USPS, like, showing as much personality as you can. And she was named Trish. And that really, because Trish to me just doesn't belong to our age bracket. And I immediately was, and had to know everything about her. I was exactly, is it Patricia? Is it Trisha? Is it a family name? And if it's a family name, I'm even more interested. What is this lineage of Trishes that span before me? What could this be? Because it is so, if she had a Kate Gosselin haircut, it would have made perfect sense. But we're just talking like long layers, like the normal situation, right?
Yeah, standard.
And I was just watching her as she was helping me, and I was like, your energy to be a young Trish, sans Kate Gosselin haircut, I think is extremely bratty. I think it's bold. I think it's brash. I think it can't be tamed. I just love that she's out there in this world saying, hi, yeah, table for two. Yeah, the name is Trish.
It's never been done before.
Not in my lifetime until I went to the USPS on a Saturday morning.
Trishes everywhere are about to rise up.
If you are a young Trish, I want to hear from you. Yes. And I want you to like tell me if you consider yourself a brat, because I consider you a brat complimentary all day and all night. Saying your name, I'm immediately transported to like, those popular girls in the Daria like cartoon that are friends with Quinn, like they're all part of that group. They're all wearing belly tank tops.
100%. Navel.
Yes,
born.
navel's out.
Yes.
Like for all to bear witness. That was Trish to me. So my brat of the week is you, Trish, at the USPS in Pasadena.
Wow. Trish, thank you for expanding our horizons, because I really was expecting a Barb and Star kind of situation.
And maybe it is. That's the great mystery of Trish.
Maybe, but I think we kind of got a cha-cha lounge kind of situation.
Cha-cha lounge?
Isn't that what that bar is called? Is this too LA of me? Redact.
It may be, but if it's too LA, even I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, look at this background. Again, wrong direction every time, but it's fine. Yes, but shout out Trish. I love that. I love that you saw her. I love that you were bedazzled by her. I wonder if she beads.
She probably, she's got a craft kit.
100%.
I love. Ugh.
Love it.
Well, Isha, I think that brings us to the end of our second episode of Huge Brats.
We did it.
We did it. We will be back. More brattiness is always on the horizon.
Yes.
Take that with you, folks.
Never forget that.
Never forget.
We will see you soon, but in the meantime, you can catch us on Instagram, TikTok, and wherever you get your podcasts at Huge Brats.
Like and subscribe, baby.
You better. Bye, Brat.
Bye. Bye, Brat.